The Broncos, one day before the draft, they go ahead and they trade for Teddy Bridgewater. They send a sixth-rounder over to the Carolina Panthers. And honestly, especially as a Broncos fan, you see me, if you're on video, you see me rocking this sweet orange color John Elway jersey, one of the best uniforms the NFL's ever seen. You go back like a couple shows now and catch our most or our best throwback logos and uniforms. This one's definitely on there. But a fantastic move by the Broncos, quite frankly, because not only does this get you a higher floor of a quarterback, you're not really spending much here in terms of draft capital. I mean, you're not really going to draft like a starting quarterback with a sixth rounder. That's what you can get here. You can get a sixth rounder, whether it be to bring in competition for Drew Lock, whether to just bring a veteran presence into the room for Drew, or whether it be you're still going to draft a quarterback this year, but you now have a veteran to kind of play in place before that quarterback, Trey Lance, is ready to start. And so I am pretty happy with this. And now what's open is that the Broncos have gotten interest with that 9th overall pick. I said before the draft anyway, I would love a quarterback, but if not, hey, trade down. You'll need this 9th pick right now, and you could get even more capital in return. I like what George Payton's doing. I like this move. Alex, what do you think about it?
I mean, I think this does a couple things. I mean, I think from the Panthers' perspective, which I'm going to tackle first, I think it does a very similar thing that the Broncos are now in the position of, is it does not take them out of a quarterback and almost opens them up to more of a quarterback instead of having, 3 startable guys in the Panthers room with Darnold, Bridgewater, and potentially a new quarterback into the mix. You remove one of those cogs, keep in Darnold. You don't have that much committed to him in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th rounder. He's still young, but you bring in maybe a rookie there. You have the 2 fight it out. Competition is always good. People say, you don't want to bring in competition for your young quarterbacks. You don't want to ruin his confidence. But in my eyes, if you have a quarterback that cannot beat out a veteran for that starting spot for, obviously the coaches are still going to give that young guy leeway if he doesn't, show out as much as the veteran. But if you have a guy that is not alpha enough to beat out Sam Darnold or Teddy Bridgewater for a starting spot, he's probably not your guy anyway. So don't worry about bringing in all this competition and fixating so much on that. So I think that the Panthers, I don't love how, they went from Bridgewater to Darnold, still need a rookie quarterback, and lost a 2nd and 4th round pick. I mean, I think they completely made a lateral move and lost a 2nd and a 4th for giving up Darnold, because if they were going to give up, if they just wanted a veteran quarterback to supplant a rookie quarterback, just keep Teddy Bridgewater. You don't need Sam Darnold. But from the Broncos' perspective, I love what they did there because I think Drew Lock is atrocious. You know that. All the listeners know that. I think Teddy Bridgewater is already miles ahead of where Drew Lock is.
If we're talking at least for accuracy, Drew Lock, one of the, if not the most inaccurate quarterback of last season. Teddy Bridgewater, 4th. So you're already bringing that up.
Drew Lock's just bad. That's how we can put it. Drew Lock is not good. Teddy Bridgewater is better than Drew Lock right now. But if you're the Broncos, you bring in a rookie quarterback. The last guy I want to put him next to is Drew frickin' Lock. So you bring in Teddy Bridgewater, you at least have an adult in the room, have someone that has played the position before, has done it well, knows the system, is a smart quarterback. And so I think this makes the Broncos even more likely to draft the quarterback. And I think even for the Panthers' sake, it definitely doesn't take him out of a quarterback either. So I think this is a big win for the Broncos, but a bigger win for Broncos fans because I think it sets them up to take a quarterback in the draft a lot more than where they originally were without Teddy Bridgewater.
And I really think, quite frankly, for either team, this is a solid move for both. But for the Broncos, they're in a way better position now with Teddy Bridgewater and down a 6th round draft pick than they were before this trade was made. I saw a lot of people freak out on Twitter. I said, I'm saying by this trade was a steal for the Broncos because you get all this upside.
From a value perspective, it's a massive steal.
You get almost no down. There's literally about 0% downside to this. It really makes perfect sense. Hey, George Patton, hats off to you, man. You got another good offseason move with this one. And then one of the other things, Alex, some news that kind of broke out. I think it was Shefty that was breaking out this. Yes? Yeah.
I got one more thing on that. I think this was a big part of the actual trade was the Broncos are only paying $3 million of his $10 million owed this year. The Panthers took 70% of the money off it.
Yeah.
They renegotiated the 2 years left he has on the contract. So Panthers are saving money next year. The Broncos are getting a way cheaper veteran quarterback. And the Panthers made the concession of paying 70% of the guy's contract and only getting a sixth rounder back. So they were looking to give away Teddy Bridgewater for anything at this point. So great move by Pat again.
Fantastic point, Alex. Thanks for bringing the 5 yeses there. That's, I think it's safe to say that's a large chunk of a contract to the Broncos. Are one of the better
20% of a contract is massive.
Right, come on. The Broncos are one of the top teams in terms of cap space. Just make it a little easier for them. Fantastic stuff.